Hi everyone, I'm back. This is Anta Chavez of Be Latina, and today we'll be talking to Claudia Romo Edelman, who is the founder of We Are All Human. This foundation is really awesome, and Claudia is just an incredible woman who will be talking about the book that she just curated with tons of amazing stories. So I can't wait to hear what she has to say. And she should be joining very soon. Just give it some time so people join. And for those who don't know, the book is called Hispanic Stars Rising, The New Face of Power. So she basically curated all these stories for the book, and it's about the contributions of Hispanics, Latinos, Latines, y Latinas in the U.S., their contributions as a community. So it is really exciting. Okay, she's in. Let's get started.
Sorry, I've been trying so long. I'm sorry about that.
No, don't worry about it. How are you, Claudia?
I'm super excited to be able to talk to you.
I am super excited as well. And you know, the industry is so small, and it's really funny because you just did an interview with Mariela from Hip Latina, which was actually founded by our founder, Lisa Cavalli. So, and then you also did an interview with David, the founder of NGO, and we just did a partnership with them. So it's like this conversation was meant to be. It was meant to happen.
Yes.
We were just going around it, you know. We were meant to be. How are you?
I'm great, and I'm very grateful as well for the opportunity to speak to you. And you know what you just said about like synergies and actually getting more and more, that's exactly what we should all be feeling about the Hispanic community. It's every time more, every time closer, every time bolder, bigger, better. And if we keep on having that sense of there's something underground that is popping on your under your feet and you feel it, that's us. That's the Hispanic community popping up, and we're ready because the dam is breaking and the water is leaking, and
Yes.
this is going to happen.
Yeah, there you go. That's what we should all be united in that way. I agree. And so I would love to give you the space and the time to introduce yourself to everybody who's here. So just who you are and what you do on a daily basis.
Thank you. I am Claudia Romo Edelman. I was the latecomer to this incredible Instagram live because I couldn't actually come in. I'm the founder of the World, so sorry about that. I'm the founder of the World Human Foundation. Our organization is devoted to advancing diversity and inclusion as a way to achieving equity. We believe the world is already pretty diverse. We just have to make it more inclusive for every one of us to be able to be and bring our best selves to everything we do. We're super laser focused on the Latino community, in the Hispanic community, with two things we want to achieve. We want to unify us all so that we don't have that division of not having a shared dream, whether you're Mexican, Colombian, Venezuelan. We can dream together to have a better outcome for all of us as a community. And we want to change the perception of Hispanics from invisible to visible, from negative to positive, from takers to makers. So that's who we are. That's what I am. That's who I am, and that's what I do.
Awesome. And so now the book Hispanic Stars Rising, The New Face of Power, as I was saying, it just came out and it was curated by you. So can you tell us a little bit more about the concept behind the book?
Hispanics are stars. We are contributors. We're positive. There's absolutely no way that America would be what it is without Hispanics. We've been contributing since the 16th century. We've been shining light, and we've been, like in the sky that makes America so incredible. It's just that we have had a huge cloud in front of us, not allowing other people to see our shine. So it's just an opportunity for us when we created the Hispanic Star as a symbol to unify us all. And you can call it whatever you want. You can call it Latino Star, Latinx Star. It's a symbol. Like the rainbow is for the LGBTQ, where we can all identify and feel proud. So that when you see that, you can feel unity, pride, but also Latino empowerment. And this book is the first of many things that we will do to showcase the incredible contributions of Hispanics to this country, to showcase the incredible stories of our people, so that there's absolutely no way that we don't have role models for our young people, but there's absolutely no way that you cannot think of us as entrepreneurs, as academics, as vibrant, working, like a driving force for this country, so that you can, when you think Hispanic, you associate it with what it should be, with growth, with positivity, with contributions. That is the book. The book is talking about 92 incredible individuals out of the 60 million that we have to tell the stories of. So watch out, because this is the first of many things that we will do to make sure that we change our narrative by telling our stories and by putting a face in what people should know of what are Latinos.
Right. And what I think is so beautiful about this book is that it doesn't give a voice to Latinas. It actually amplified their voices because they're already there, And so what inspired you and motivated you all to start this project in the way that it has progressed? So you're not talking about them, you're just letting them tell their stories.
And that is exactly what, like I'm a marketer. I was raised on board a marketer. I've done only that my entire life, 25 years, different titles, but the same job, whether it's head of communications, marketing for the United Nations, UNICEF, the World Economic Forum, the Global Fund to Fight AIDS, Tuberculosis, and Malaria, is normally trying to make sure that you can win the heart and the minds of the people by highlighting the best attributes of whatever you're working on. So whomever is doing the marketing for the Hispanic community is doing everything possible to hide the attributes of our community and present us as someone we're not. So when I moved to America and I started looking at the data, I was like, we're powerful, but we think weak. We're huge, but we act small, and people see us as small. So there's a reverse marketing problem that we have to fix, because our product is amazing. We're hard workers, we're entrepreneurs, we finish school. Every single myth that you have about the Hispanic community is not real. We are powerful, we are growing, and I know that it is hard to absorb. It's hard to drink the Kool-Aid and say, like, yeah, Hispanics are powerful. We're beautiful. It's hard, I know. It takes time, because we've been told so differently so long, but we are powerful. And what we need to make sure that we do is what I've been seeing all across the world, all in different communities, all in different settings. What other global examples lead to is when you unify and you have a shared dream, and in this case is to have the dream to be seen, heard, and valued. If all of us, regardless of where you are encouraged to tell the same story about Latinos were powerful, we will tell that story and we will actually change it. We just need a symbol, a plan, and a platform. And that is exactly what the Hispanic Star campaign is trying to do, is bringing every Latino to use that symbol, to put it the way that you would actually see the rainbow in pride. And you will be able, whether you're Hispanic or not, to say, like, I'm simpatico to what you're saying. I understand the rings of the Olympic Games. That means that the best of sport, when people see the star, they will see not only Latino empowerment, but they will see us as what we are, stars. So this is a platform to showcase our contributions, but simply removing the cloud that has been covering our shine and allow people to tell their own stories.
Of course. And it must have been such a beautiful and just, valuable process to read all this story. So can you tell me a little bit more about how, curating the book looked like for you?
So every time I go somewhere, and again, I'm new to this country, I never heard that I was a Hispanic in my entire life until I moved to America 6 years ago. I lived my entire life as a happy Mexican, like living in Europe for 25 years. I never even heard that term. So when I moved to America and I started actually understanding the incredible stories, the power that we have, the fact that every person that I met, 12% of their salaries depends on our community. So I started feeling like, you're welcome. No problem. Dear America, no problem. There you go, your 12% of your salary. It's okay. We work hard. I know. Like your social security, no problem. Your taxes, no problem. But the more I started meeting people, I was just in awe of how really hardworking we are, how values driven we are, how family and friends we are, how incredible contributors we are, how powerful you can have Latinos that are 100% Hispanics and 100% Americans. We can embody 200% of a person, in sometimes even 300. You can be Hispanic, you can be American, you can be Mexican, all of it in one. And those are the kinds of, that's the kind of vibe and the passion and the energy that we bring to everything we have. So every single employee that is hiring a Latino should say like, oh my God, I'm the luckiest person. I'm hiring someone that comes with emotional engagement already. And the reality is that only 76% of Hispanics have to pretend they're someone they're not at the workplace. So if you're Jorge, you have to pretend to be George in the workplace, and you leave yourself at home and you bring someone you don't even know to the workplace. And that's actually a shame for everybody. We are going to be disenfranchised. We're going to feel undervalued. We're not going to bring our passion, our hard work to everything we do. And then we're going to leave. And that's going to mean a revolving door for every organization. So this book tells the stories of those people that have actually managed to remain Jorge, that have actually found a way to be themselves, and the struggles that they have, but also how they have achieved being able to feel comfortable being Latinos, and how that can be an inspiration for all of us to create that trend of Latinidad. Because we're so many, we're going to be the majority by any chance. By 2050, we will be 1 in 4 will be Latino. Hello, 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 hola. Hello, 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 hola. That's the future. So, if you don't know how to say Jorge, you better start learning.
Yeah. And so why do you think this kind of initiatives that showcase the contributions of Latina communities and amplify their voices are important, especially right now?
We are, no doubt, we're the future. We're the driving force of America. We're the voters, the entrepreneurs, the youth. And yet we're underrepresented, misrepresented, and undervalued. We're 18% of the population, but only 1% in politics. 18% of the population, but only 1% in family television programs. We're not seen enough. We're not behind cameras. We're not in front of cameras. And when we are seen, we're seen as negatively. The 3 main attributes of Hispanics are criminals, pizza deliverers, and waiters. And then we're associated with migration. And Latinas, instead of being seen as brains, as hardworking, we're seen for our physical attributes. And I think that's time to change that and own our own narrative. And that is why it's super important that all of us are starting to actually make sure that we tell the stories. We are so used to calladita te ves más bonita. We're so used to actually not being able to tell our stories that we feel that that's actually the way we should do. But here is the story. The more we speak up, the more we tell our stories. We don't have to make a big deal. We just have to be able to be ourselves. And the more we do that, the more we're going to be opening the door for companies, for the youth, and for everyone to recognize us as what we are, to change that narrative. And by changing the narrative, changing our salaries so that we're paid fully. Because Latinas were paid only 46%. We're 46% paid less. If you're a nurse, a Hispanic nurse, you earn 70% less than a non-Hispanic nurse male. And those are the things that are associated with perception, that are associated with invisibility, that are associated with self-esteem. We need to make sure that we elevate the playing field for all, so that literally we can have a next generation. Our next generations can be fully paid, fully respected and fully seen. That is why it's so important that we do these kind of initiatives. That is why I'm bringing all the expertise that I've seen in 25 years of global things of change, trying to bring as many Hispanic as possible to believe that we can do this. We just have to start doing it.
Yeah. And when we do this, like you said, it's also to open the doors for the next generation, to try to get them the opportunities that we might have not had, and just level the playing field, like you said. So, how are Latinas right now shaping the future of the United States, and how is that next generation going to look like?
Latinas are my weakest point, my deepest, my most caring point. You know, we're not only paid the least of every single other group in America, we also have a perception issue that is bigger than what we know. In corporate boards, for example, we're the lowest represented group in the entire group of Americans. So if you start comparing African American man, African American woman, Asian man, Asian woman, American man, American woman, and you put us all together, we're the lowest by 1/18th. So we're, so 1/18th is we're like really not represented, and that is an issue that is related to perception. We know that we're the secret source, like that we're the magic ingredient of our community. You and I know that we bring the families together, that we actually work now in COVID 20 hours more than male in actually, like in serving not only our work and what we have to do, but also our families. But guess what? No one sees that. Everybody thinks of Latinas as boobs and never brains. Everybody thinks of Latinas as gritonas, not as contributors. And those attributes were shocking to me to learn. We really need to work on Latinas. We need to work, all of us, to showcase not only our physical attributes, but also our positive contributions to the country. We need to learn how to do self-advocacy, how to do self-promotion in a way that is conducive and that other people understand. We need to understand how to ask for mentorship, how to ask for sponsors. We need to support each other. There is a place in heaven, my grandmother would always said, there is a place in heaven for women that support each other. And Latinas, we don't do that. We think that there is one space and one seat at the table. And what we need to understand is that there is no table. It's only a country full of opportunities for everybody. And that the way that we can survive and we can thrive is by being intentionally supportive for each other, hire each other, mentor each other, support each other. We just have to be more supportive of each other and be more intentional about our growth, because literally we're coming from the least place.
Beautiful. So thank you so much, Claudia. I think my last question would be, are there any upcoming projects that you'd like to tell us about?
Yes. Okay. So this is an open invitation for all of you, because here's the deal. The dam is breaking and the water is leaking. The question is whether you want to have your hands on the wall when it falls. This is historic. Hispanics have never been so ready. We've never been so strong. It's going to happen. The next decade will be Latino. Do you want to be part of that change? Just take action. I invite you to take part with the Hispanic Star movement and initiative that we have. We have more than 30 Hispanic Star hubs all across the country. Everyone right now doing volunteering, helping Latinos in relief campaigns that have been affected by COVID. We have Hispanic Star ambassadors, where we train you to have data about the Latino community so that you can speak about the Latino powerfulness wherever you are, in your church, in your club, in your employees, so that you can change the perception and you change actually your own future by being engaged. So be part. We have ambassadorships, we have activations at the local level, we have employee resource group acting, and we will deliver a number of Hispanic Star projects. We just launched the Hispanic Star book. We signed up a Macmillan deal to create 30 books on Hispanic Star Hispanic Star children's books, so that our children in the future can, the way that you read when you're a small kid about Hamilton, about Washington, you can learn about Sonia Sotomayor and about Ellen Ochoa and about our Hispanic heroes that no one has heard of because history doesn't include them. So we will include them in children's books. We will create podcasts, we will create television shows, everything to showcase that Hispanics are stars and start giving the platform for people. So if you have any idea, contact us, hispanicstar.org.
That's amazing. I'm really excited about that. Yeah, and thanks so much for sharing that with us and for being here. I appreciate your time. And please, everyone, go get the Hispanic Stars Rising book because this is amazing. So many amazing stories. So I can't wait to read it.
Thank you so very much. And this is one of many. So join us. Let's do this. This is our time.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Claudia. Have a great
Thank you
day.
so very much for the opportunity. And I'm sorry to have been late.
No, you're okay. Bye.
All right. Bye.